You know, when a company raises over $100 billion in a single year, you've got to ask, what are they seeing that maybe the rest of us aren't? Well, today we're breaking down Brookfield Asset Management's latest strategy. And let me tell you, it's about way more than just the numbers on a page. It's really a blueprint for who builds and who powers the world of tomorrow.
Okay, first, let's just let this number sink in for a second. In the last 12 months, Brookfield raised a staggering $106 billion. That's the fastest they have ever raised money organically. It's a huge vote of confidence from the market, for sure. But the really interesting part isn't just the what, it's the why. Where is all this capital actually going?
And for that, we can go straight to the top. CEO Bruce Flatt kind of lays it all out for us. He says the business is plugging directly into the biggest themes shaping our world right now. You've got the explosion of AI, the insane demand for electricity that comes with it, and a smart, strategic recovery happening in real estate. These aren't just little trends. These are generational investment opportunities.
So let's kick things off with that first and maybe most transformative theme, artificial intelligence. Now, Brookfield isn't just throwing money at AI software companies. Nope, they're betting on something way more fundamental: the physical, real-world stuff that AI needs to even exist. I mean, think about it, right? AI isn't just code floating around in the cloud. It runs on a colossal physical backbone. It needs massive, power-guzzling data centers, all new kinds of cooling tech, and an electrical grid that can handle a spike in demand unlike anything we've ever seen before. This is creating a whole new category of essential infrastructure. And the size of the prize here, it's just mind-blowing. Brookfield estimates the world's going to need to invest over $7 trillion in AR-related infrastructure in just the next decade. To put that into perspective, every time you ask an AI to write an email or create an image, you are tapping into a physical network that Brookfield is betting trillions on building out. We're not talking about a few new server farms. This is a complete rewiring of our digital and energy foundations. And this simple breakdown really shows you Brookfield's secret sauce. They aren't just a real estate developer or just an energy company. They operate across the entire value chain. So they can build the data center, and then they can turn right around and build a power plant needed to run it. It's an integrated one-stop shop for the tech giants, the hyperscalers like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, that are fueling this whole AI revolution. Which, of course, leads us directly into that second core theme: power. The AI boom is basically pouring gasoline on an already raging fire of global electricity demand. The world was already trying to electrify transportation and industry, and now, all of a sudden, data centers are becoming some of the biggest single users of electricity on the entire planet. This quote from President Connor Teskey just nails the urgency. He puts it bluntly: we are facing a structural shortage of power generation. This isn't some problem for the future. It's a problem right now. And this is exactly where Brookfield sees one of its biggest opportunities. And you can really see just how dramatic this shift is. In the past, energy demand grew at a pretty steady, predictable pace. But today, you add the supercharged demand from data centers and AI on top of all the other industrial electrification that's happening, and that growth curve just goes vertical. So how do you solve a problem this big? Well, Brookfield's answer is basically all of it, an all of the above solution. They're not just betting on wind and solar. They are building a massive portfolio that can provide any kind of power that's needed, especially that reliable 24/7 baseload power from sources like hydro, nuclear, and energy storage that is just absolutely critical for keeping the lights on. And trust me, they are putting some serious cash behind this. Just take a look at this landmark deal: an $80 billion partnership to build new nuclear power reactors. A move like this positions Brookfield right at the center of America's clean energy build-out and shows just how serious they are about solving that baseload power puzzle. Okay, so you've got the strategy to build the physical world of tomorrow, but how do you pay for it all? Well, that brings us to the third pillar: creating a dominant, fully integrated credit platform by bringing the legendary Oaktree Capital Management completely in-house. Now, this wasn't some snap decision. This has been the plan for years. They first partnered up way back in 2019, and by 2026, they expect to have a single, unified credit powerhouse that's ready to fund the kind of massive infrastructure projects we've been talking about. And what's really key here is that they're not just chasing all the hot trends in private credit. They are actively avoiding the commoditized, overcrowded parts of the market. Instead, they're just focusing on what they know best: complex debt deals for infrastructure and real assets, where their hands-on operational expertise gives them a massive edge. And the scale of this combined company is, it's just immense. We're talking about a nearly $350 billion credit platform. That gives them the firepower and the deep, deep expertise to finance projects on a scale that very few others on Earth can even think about. So after a record year, where do you go from here? The answer for them is pretty simple. You double the business. They've laid out a very clear 5-year plan for exactly what that growth is going to look like.
And here are the targets. They're aiming to more than double their fee-bearing capital. That's basically the pool of money they actively manage and earn fees on, from around $581 billion to $1.2 trillion. And the goal is to also double their fee-related and distributable earnings, which is essentially the recurring fees they collect and the cash profits that are available to shareholders. It is a wildly ambitious plan, but it's built entirely on the foundation of these global megatrends we've been talking about.
Which brings us right back to that opening question. As the world digitizes and electrifies at a speed we've never seen before, Brookfield is betting that the winners will be the ones who can provide the capital, the operational know-how, and the physical assets to make it all happen. They're not just investing in the future, they're aiming to build its very foundation.